Kyle Walker Peters.
All right, hello and welcome to the Matchday Vlogs YouTube channel. As always, please remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe because it really does make a difference to the channel. We're here, of course, to talk about the upcoming game. We have Nottingham Forest coming up at home in our new home. The glorious picture of the new Northern stand there. We'll also be having a look back at that Newcastle performance, and our faces really shouldn't be this sad considering how well we did. We'll also be looking at some of the signings. Jack's done some readings, so we're going to have a look on those. All of the signings coming in. It appears to be loads, and I've just realised I've forgotten to put Cameron Archer in there. There's that many signings, and have I missed him? I don't, anyway, but there it is. This show isn't sponsored, but we do have a bit of a prize running at the moment. We're teaming up with Football Prizes. You can get yourself a squad signed Saints shirt. Look at it right there with all the signatures all over it. There are only 175 tickets. I haven't checked exactly how many are left. I know when I last looked there was about 110 left, so check out what's available there. Within that, I think is a just as cool, maybe cooler, but there's a framed Adam Armstrong shirt with images and stuff like that. So and in and amongst the tickets, you can actually get yourself something special there. So I forgot to put the QR code around the screen. Deeply sorry, but if you just simply go to Football Prizes website, you'll see it there, and hopefully there's some tickets left. And I haven't just talked about something which is sold out, which would be terrible. But anyway, but we're back. We're back for another live show. It was a long weekend, wasn't it, Jack? A long weekend, but I thought quite fruitful, wasn't it?
I feel like the ends justified the means for this weekend. It felt like a long time. It was a big journey, and maybe the result wasn't quite for us, but the time we had, the content that we got,
to hear
that many people, that many Geordies be forced to say
Kyle Walker Peters.
It's just the best. Thank you, Yaz. Thanks for that. Really, really, really put the effort in. So yeah, it was a great weekend. I feel like the funny thing was I was so tired the Monday, and the first 3 interviews I had with my job were all for a fostering home in Newcastle. So I was talking to Geordies all Monday morning. So it was it didn't really end for me.
It didn't at all. Also, a quick mention: we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram tonight. I think it's working over there. Yep, I've glanced down, and we have 10 people watching on Instagram. So hello, everyone on Instagram. If you want to get involved in the chat, I'm not sure if can you chat on Instagram. Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out. But if it's not, we'll just jump on the YouTube channel, and we'll be able to have a conversation. Let us know where you're watching the show from. Nothing too specific. That would be weird. But I see we've got DC Joe in the room. How we doing? Good day to you, sir. Morgan Crab. These members, supporters of the channel. Thank you so much for your support. Our tree is better. Yeah, we'll be getting onto that. Of course, it is the tree derby coming up next in our new home as well. It's our new, can we call it a new home? I'm going to call it a new home. The all new St Mary's Stadium.
It does look pretty new, doesn't it? We have this, yeah. I'm so excited to get down to those videos. They've been doing a good job over there.
They have indeed. We were hoping to get down to the stadium to do a bit of filming, but there's still some stuff that's going on, so we're going to revisit that. Hopefully, when the Del Bar's finished in that corner, we can get something done. But yeah, there's still stuff that's a work in progress. So we want to wait until it's completely finished before we do any of the kind of stuff like that. But should we do also have a special guest joining us from the legendary Forest Fan TV. So they're going to jump on about 7 minutes time. So let's spend at least 7 minutes chatting about Newcastle away. Shall we? I think it would be only right to do so. Of course, the result did end in a 1-0 loss up at St James's Park, a sold-out away end. And in all honesty, I thought we absolutely bossed that. And actually, for me, the red card kind of ruined the game for both sides. Is that fair to say?
I mean, it was fun when it happened, and the idea of what was to come. But the goal ruined it. I think the goal ruined it. To be honest, if it was 0-0,
Yeah.
and we'd leave that, and you leave there with a point against 10 men, you're like, okay, difficult to break down 10 men. Same way as it was anyway. But the fact that it was 1-0 due to absolute stupidity, I'm going to go a little bit easier on Alex because I feel like for the rest of the game, he came out very well for the corners. You know,
He collected,
he collected, and he was, he dominated his box up leading up until the goal. But we all know, everyone can see that coming. Everyone knew that he can't do it. That picture, the one that you were looking at in the hotel afterwards, when it's sort of like, right, he had about 4 options to make.
Yeah.
Five of you include just boot it out of play, and he chose to give it to Isaac. So not great.
No.
But
I think
like you say,
do you agree with the comments?
Stuff.
Do you agree with the comments from Russell Martin to say like he shouldn't be getting the ball back in that position? I mean, is that then laying blame at Jack Stevens for passing the ball out there?
I think do you know what? I think that's the best way he can say that was Alex's fault, because it's like, okay, you're right. He shouldn't be passing the ball back to Alex there, and he's right. Maybe the throw in shouldn't have gone back that far anyway. There are things leading up to it, but if we all, he's like, what that for me said is like, we know Alex isn't good with his feet, so he shouldn't be getting the ball in that area. So you can blame, okay, Stevens are passing that ball back, but what he's actually said there is that he has a major flaw in his game.
Yeah,
and we were stupid to do that, and the fact that he defended McCarthy, and then we're going to get the transfers in a bit, and now we've seen 2 things that seem pretty likely to happen. One or the 2 might happen, and then Liz goes. So we know it's not like it's not a concern, because obviously it is a concern, and that's Russell's style of play. What to think of that as like Jack shouldn't have passed it back is like Jack shouldn't have done the system that he's being trained to do.
Yeah, and if Alex McCarthy's in any kind of doubt, just blast it Rose Ed.
Exactly, that's what he needs to do. If Alex gets that ball, just blast it. Just don't. Unless there's obviously, if there's no pressure, then pass it. That's fine. But if there's a player within 10 feet of him, blast that ball away. Just don't need to do it, because it's the Russ style is to pass that ball out. Be patient with it, work it way out, and that involves the goalkeeper. And for Russ to say like we should be passing it back to Alex, that doesn't for me say Jack shouldn't have passed it back. It's like Alex can't pass the ball, and this is the way I can say that he shouldn't have been given the ball at that time.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I mean, obviously we are in the market for a goalkeeper. There's a couple of mentions here about Aaron Ramsdale and the Feyenoord keeper. Are you going to give a pronunciation?
I believe it's Bijlo or
Bijlo.
Bijlo. I don't know how else we would be saying it.
Bijlo. Making it sound French now, aren't I? Do you know what? This whole goalkeeper situation is a little bit tricky. I'd almost prefer to see. I don't know. I've just seen clips of Aaron Ramsdale not be great with his feet, and I just can't imagine that he's going to want to go from Arsenal wages to Southampton wages and be any the wiser. Do you know what I mean?
Here's the thing with Ramsdale. He's a better shot stopper than Baz. In this league, we need a good shot stopper. Now, Aaron Ramsdale isn't terrible with his feet. He's had some risky moments. His concentration is his thing. I think that we all know that. He's openly said that he kind of has to sing to himself during games and bits and bobs like that during to keep himself up. So that's his issue. But I think Ramsdale is smart enough and learnt enough from those things to know that probably do hoof it out, do those things. For me, Ramsdale is the kind of goalkeeper that keeps you in the league. He's something that I've been kind of wanting in this squad for a while. As much as I love Baz, and Baz, he was starting to get a little bit of something in the season last season. But shame he went out when he did. But I just want a goalkeeper that's going to stop shots. I want those, because let's be fair, even with Alex, even after he passed that ball out, the goal was at his near post. The goal wasn't like, oh my god, there was no stopping that. Like he's messed himself up and it's an open goal. Yeah, it wasn't. It came across him and it was at his near post, and he didn't dive for it. He didn't like. I feel like if you're a keeper that's made that mistake, your next thought is like, I got to stop this going in, and he didn't even dive for it. So there's a lot of things about Alex that annoyed me that day. So no, I love the idea of Ramsdale really, and I think he's just got that command that maybe Baz misses a little bit as well long term. But Ramsdale sounds like it'll be a loan with an option maybe at the end of the season. So
okay,
for me, I think that's a good long term thing. But we'll get onto that when we get to the transfers properly later. But as for this game, and Alex Noemi, Brereton Diaz won my heart.
Yeah. It was kind of fun to see how much it was, and also I'm going to give a shout out to Sugawara, who looked absolutely fantastic in that right back position, and actually him being substituted at half time. According to Russell Martin, it was basically down to the system that he was switching up, because of course he was going to utilise an additional winger, which I'm not sure actually helped us.
Should have taken a centre back off.
Yeah, maybe just gone like a 4-3-3 formation rather than try and stick with the same thing.
I agree with that too.
But on the flip side, looking at the offence of Newcastle United, Isaac, Anthony Gordon, that's
they never made it into our box, did they? Let's be honest. Like in that, it really didn't happen. The boys had it covered, and I feel like because they were playing so high anyway, I feel like a centre back could have come off. I think maybe Flynn could have dropped a bit deeper. I think Sugawara just looked good on that side, much more powerful. As much as I love Adozi's banged it down to the wing and got one corner, and we just, we tried every routine we had in the playbook during that game. It was the game where you probably did want to pull on the bench because he would have just been a target man to aim for. So, it was annoying. I think Sugawara should have stayed on for me, but apparently he lost a lot of possession. I've seen that stuff flying about. Apparently gave it away. I didn't see that. In the game.
Didn't feel like that, did it?
Didn't feel like that. I feel like he was being a menace down that wing. And to be honest, I kind of felt like, although Adozi was making being a menace and getting in those positions, like Sugawara was winning free kicks. Sugawara was really sort of like winding that defense up. Whereas I felt like when Adozi came on, it was more annoyed. They were annoyed, but they're like, well, we can just push him out for a corner. This is rinse and repeat sort of thing. So, I would like to have seen Sugawara stay on. But let's be fair. It just needed to be taking chances. Just take some shots. The fact that we didn't take, nothing went on target, it was, the boys did a step up there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It did look good. And I think perhaps, the losing possession stats probably, Aribo was probably doing Sugawara some favours there. I thought he had a brilliant game in terms of being able to get the ball back. It looked fantastic. But we have a guest waiting in the wings. To talk all things Nottingham Forest, so I'm going to bring it in right away. Please give a very warm welcome to our friend over from Forest Fan TV, Easy. How are we doing, my friend? We're back.
Very good. You know what? I've got to be honest. Let's get the nice tease out of the way. We have missed you guys, so it's
thanks, man.
Good to have you back. Where I do believe you belong. I think you'd been. You know what? I think that season was just. It was just we had so much going against you, and it was about time that I think you finally bit the bullet. Everton have turned into you basically. Everton are the team that seem to manage to stay up every season. Hopefully, you get back to that. At the moment, I'll be honest. I'm hopeful that you'll stay up, but a lot can happen with the season to go. But I think I'm going back to your opening game, and remembering our opening game back in the Premier League was away to Newcastle. And we definitely got our asses handed to us that day. The scoreline was actually flattering. I think we lost 2-0 in the end, but the step up in levels that day, we saw it. Gamerish, first time I saw him play, and he just absolutely ripped us apart. But you guys, I felt you did well. Brereton Diaz, though, I do want to get onto him at some point because he could really be. He could really be a key player in this game this weekend for you guys and against us, really, because he's become a bit of a shithouse in the language, by the way. In the Forest fans' eyes, we're not too keen on him. He's not one of those that's welcomed back.
I understand that. Yeah.
He did celebrate when he scored against us for Sheffield last season, so he made a point of going in front of the Forest fans and celebrating. So he's not in through
your academy, didn't he? He came through your academy.
He did. Yeah, absolutely, he did. Yeah, we did get a good deal for him, but I was never a big fan of his. He had a couple of spells. He had a spell where I think he scored about a dozen goals that season, but for me, it was always one-dimensional. His shooting for me was a bit stiff. You know, he very rarely had nuance in his shooting style. If he was one-on-one, you know, I would say half the time he'd score, half the time he'd miss. But he's come on leaps and bounds, and I think he's going to be a key player this weekend. What do you guys think of him so far?
Yeah, I mean, Jack, do you want to jump in on that?
I mean, like Southampton have kind of had that thing of being kind of a nice squad for a long time. I think when James Ward-Prowse is your poster boy for that, me is, you know, as people once said, the perfect son-in-law. He's inoffensive, and that is kind of the vibe that Southampton have. And now, you know, coming back up, I think Russ has tried to instigate that little bit of, like, you know, like you said, poop housery. It's a family channel, and it's. And to see him come on and just wind Newcastle up like that, I feel like it was, for me, it was great. And seeing some of his movements was stuff that we haven't seen in a while. Even like having like Shea up top, you never saw movements from a forward like that for a while. So for that first game, I really enjoyed it. But until he starts scoring goals, it's not the finished article yet.
Do you think the crowd turning on him affected him though? Because he did miss a couple of gilt-edged chances in that game. What do you think?
That header that was basically, I can't figure out whether it's just come off his shoulder or something like that, but that looked like a surefire goal. And then also in the second half, there was a couple of occasions where both Ben Brereton and Adam Armstrong should have smashed it away. So as good as Newcastle defence were, I just thought I thought there were enough opportunities for those to be put away, which is the only negative I would say from that game. Really, you go along with that, Jack?
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it kind of hurt. I think it hurts Diaz that game because I feel like when the defense were great. They all obviously sat behind. Pope's an excellent goalkeeper, so the fact that we hit that back line so many times, so many deflected shots, it tells you kind of what it was. And because of the red card and because of it, he's got a bit more of an extra light on him that game. It's like, well, you know, you play that game and you need to finish really. So I don't think the crowd got to him. I just think that he was made to look a little bit stupid for the rest of the game. Like not everyone likes that, you know, that sort of side of the game going down like that. But let's be real, every player would do that. Any player, they would all do it because let's be fair, refs wouldn't call it otherwise.
Absolutely. It's one of those that if your player does it, you're going to back him 100%, you know. And obviously, if somebody does it against you, it's the worst thing we could have ever done. But it was what it was. And he's definitely, you know, he made the headline for himself in that game. And I think he's might be making the target for himself throughout the season, but we'll see how it goes on. But how are you guys feeling about the game on the weekend? What's your confidence?
I was going to say, what enough about us? I mean, what about Forest? I mean, what kind of threats do you think Forest are going to pose to Saints? I mean, we're coming into this with a completely different style of football that you saw last time. It's actually quite good as opposed to the rubbish stuff that we were playing in the Premier League last time out. But you know, possession-based football, playing out from the back. I mean, how do you see Forest tactics going up against us?
Well, obviously we had a massive injury last weekend with a Danilo leg break, which I felt affected certainly the atmosphere in the game. And looking back on it, it certainly affected the atmosphere. It was for an opening day, and it was something I was trying to G the guys up about because this is what we've been dreaming about. You know, unfortunately, first two seasons we've started away from home and finished away from home in the Premier League. So this is the first opening day we've had at home, and just reminding guys, we've waited over 23 years for these days. You know, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's hope the atmosphere is up to it. And it started off well, but I think the injury definitely affected the mood in the crowd. Certainly, don't think it affected the players because we did the substitution that Nuno made and brought Yates on. Yates actually put us on the front foot, and we ended up getting a goal soon afterwards through his endeavour. But looking forward to this weekend. Obviously, we've made some transfers since then, most notably Moreno at left back. We still don't know about the Niakate deal, whether that's going to fully go through, but apparently personal terms have been agreed. I don't know if you've been watching the channel, but it's something Wolfie's delegates. Both these players, he's had his let's say his concerns on. Well, Moreno turned us down a couple of years ago. So when we got promoted that season, he decided to stay where he was. apparently sent out a letter to the fan base saying, I think it was at Betis. So somebody will correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But and pledged his future development before signing for Villa the following season. And even this season, he said he wasn't really interested in coming to Forest. So that really rubbed Wolfie up the wrong way. But he's a quality player. I'm. You've got to overlook your personal feelings towards it. If Nuno thinks he's the right player, I'm happy to be, and he's better than what we've got. So the backup to at the moment we've been playing Ola Aina at left back, who's been an absolute sensation since we signed him last season. Got him on a free, one of the best bits of business I think Nottingham Forest done in their history. To be honest, he's that good a player. But he got injured towards the end of the game last week. So I can see Moreno probably coming straight in, and he's been playing for Villa. He's in good form. He's a quality player. The crosses will probably be getting down that left-hand side will be a real threat to you guys. So depending on how we line up, I do expect the 4-2-3-1. It's Nuno's standard formation. Two holding midfielders who complement each other with pivot. Sangare was our big money signing last season, Ibrahim Sangare, and he didn't, for many reasons, as it's turned out, he had illnesses as well as settling into a new country, a new system, a new league.
He had malaria, right? Didn't he?
Yes, he had malaria, which only come out now. Actually, I heard it on Match of the Day last week, as you guys may have done. I think Alan Shearer mentioned it, but he also picked him out for praise that game. And I've got to say, pre-season, he was the standout player. And I'm just hoping he can follow that form into the season, because if any team worth its salt needs a solid CDM, and he is the number 6 that most teams in the league would want. So he could be the real difference this season, because he'll allow the other attacking players to work around him. Now, the concern for me will be that Nuno will be a bit cautious with this partner. So you'll probably start with Yatesy, but I think most of the Forest fan base, and certainly the guys on FFTV, would rather see Dominguez in there, or our new signing, Elliot Anderson, who we signed from Newcastle over summer as well, who's, for me, he's looked really impressive in pre-season. He didn't look so great when he came on as a sub, but Nuno played him out of position last week. So our reliance is really going to be on that midfield. We have to win that midfield battle. If we can win that midfield battle, we have certainly got the attacking players ahead of them that can hurt any team in the league. So, I mean, I don't know how well you guys have followed Callum Hudson-Odoi's season last year. He just got better and better. Got back to the player that we saw at Chelsea. And even though a lot of opposition fans, and probably you guys yourselves, would probably pick out Morgan Gibbs-White as a key danger man. If I asked you that question, I'm not sure. I'm trying to preempt your answers, but I've got to say, Callum Hudson-Odoi is probably the one to watch out for in terms of attacking threats.
I was catching up also with Wolfie. We did a little pre-recorded opposition preview, so that will come out probably at some point tomorrow. But he was telling me about all this new striker you got. Was it Cristiano Woodinho that he was talking about? The new version of Chris Wood. He's telling me all about.
I've got to say, mate, obviously his goals kept us up last season. There's no two ways about it. We lost Taiwo Awoniyi fairly early on, who was the one who scored the winner against you guys in the reverse fixture a couple of seasons ago. I remember being that, and I will get back to that, because you guys did me a favour last season. I didn't have to, because I've got my in-laws live down in Eastleigh, so I killed 2 birds with one stone. Went to obviously the Forest Southampton game in that first season up, and saw the in-laws. But obviously you did me a favour by getting relegated last season, so I didn't have to make that trip.
You do know we're live. You do know this is live. Just checking.
I know, and it's recorded as well. Bless them. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, just purely for logistics, I couldn't make it down. I can't make it down tomorrow, but I would love to get to the game. It's one of those stadiums that I really like, because my in-laws live literally down St Mary's Road, I think. So it's like within walking distance of the stadium, and you can see the stadium from where they live. And I've been down there on match days, and it's a really great atmosphere. I do think it's a fantastic stadium. I think, though, that you guys are, like you said earlier, a much better team than last time round. And from that point of view, I want to ask you, from Russell Martin, obviously, he's still a newbie. He's fresh to the Premier League. Are you confident that he's going to see out the season? And come hell or high water, do you want him to see out the season? Even if worst came to worst, would you stick with him?
I think, if you don't mind me jumping in first, Jack, I think he is one of those managers where the hierarchy won't make a change unless it gets really bad, as in like we're showing no, like a bit like with Burnley last season. I mean, they were never quite in it, but they weren't a million miles away from it, and the football they were playing did show signs of positivity. We're getting the Burnley thing a lot. A lot of people come out and saying, "Oh, you're playing this pretty football. That's what Burnley did last season." But Burnley didn't buy all those loan players that they used in the Championship. You know, they had Taylor with Bellis. They let him go back to City, and then we had him on loan. You know, they didn't buy Nathan Teller. All these players that they had a system with, then moved on and they had to redo it. So, you know, we spent near on 50 million quid on getting Howard Bellis in, you know, securing that deal with Flynn Downs, him coming through the door. That was a loan without an obligation, so we had to negotiate that one. And it was absolutely imperative that we got that done early so that we could actually set up from the get-go and rather have it sort of mulling on until the end of August. So those sorts of things give me positivity. I was pleasantly surprised at watching my team play against Newcastle at the weekend, because I think that's when we all saw, hang on, this actually works. You know, this is one of the, I mean, Newcastle, to be fair, they looked a little bit tired, but I'm not sure whether that was,
they were leggy.
Whether that was us just making them run around the park and they weren't used to doing that, because they're one of the best at pressing in midfield. And when you're going up against Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Linton, it's like, I mean, Joe Linton's a beast. Try and get the ball off Joe Linton. He's insane. But we were making it look relatively easy. And I think that at that moment, I was thinking like, do you know what? If we play like that against most sides, if we got a finished product, it's the final third that's going to kill us. You know, if we can't get the goals, that's where it'll be a problem. But all of us were going up to Newcastle thinking like, we're going to get hammered 4-0. But it didn't happen like that. So
speak for yourself.
But I think it's one of those things where even if it goes terrible, well, even if we aren't out of the relegation zone, I think the club will stick with Russell Martin. I think they will.
Yeah, I think it's got, like you say, it's got that touch of Burnley to it, but also in a sense, a little bit of Luton as well, where you're like, they're not going to get rid of him because it's all about that. You know what I mean?
Don't tell me you're going to be plucky Southampton this season.
I use the plucky word for
plucky Southampton. But no, that's how it feels to me. There's a long-term goal in mind. The club seem to know what they're doing, and I trust that. So far, trust it. But the only way it would change, is like Mike says, if it gets to halfway through the season, and even more the mentality changing. If we start seeing players not getting on, the fear setting in, that's when it needs to change. When the players no longer believe in the system, that's when it's going to be an issue for us. But I don't see it personally with the there.
Going back to your transfers, Jack, is your transfer business done? I heard you guys talking about Ramsdale, who's obviously been a player that we've been linked with as well. How realistic is that from happening? Because I don't think our transfer business is done, and I still think for Nottingham Forest, certainly a goalkeeper is on the agenda. So how close are you to the Ramsdale deal?
Ramsdale's one of those ones, just because he was at the playoff finals last year, just as a Hagrid in disguise. Like everyone's like, well, he loves the Saints. He was there. He was in the end. He loves us. It's a difficult deal, and I see a loan maybe with an obligation to buy at the end of the season, all depending on what happens. I feel we've got Bijlow from Feyenoord in the mix. I don't think business is done yet. I think there's still quite a bit we need to get. Goalkeeper, maybe another attacking player. I feel like with Charlie Alcaraz sounding like he might be on the way out as well. Maybe somebody else in the midfield. But here's the thing: on the drive down to Newcastle, we signed 2 players who before we got in the car had never been linked to us.
Well,
that's why we don't do transfer stuff on the show. It just changes.
It's impossible to say. I hate the fact that the transfer window doesn't shut before the first game. Like I would wish everything was done. We all knew where we stood. We can get on and go for it. But the fact that we've got to wait, another week until we know what's going on, it's kind of annoying. And I think a lot of people go, because it's just there's so many things. Every day now, it's just this is linked. Thank God that Saints Extra have that tier system for you know, where these stories come from.
Gauging it.
Because otherwise, God, we'd be posting a lot of stuff that didn't happen. But what about you guys? What have you got left to go? Minus the goalkeeper,
Well,
so
I
much
mean-
else. I mean,
Well, like I say, the Nketiah deal still hasn't been signed and sealed yet. Last update was that the personal terms had been agreed. Again, for me, you're signing a striker from a top 4 team. You know what's not to like, really. I don't want to shoot my load too soon. We'll talk about it with the guys over the weekend, but it's certainly been a bone of contention or discussion within the Forest fan base whether that's the right money we should be spending on a player like that. But you've got to take into account the Premier League tax, the homegrown player tax. You know, you've got to add all that on. And he's 25. You know, he should be coming up to the peak of his career. Now, his goal record doesn't really add up to what it should be really from over 100 appearances. I think he's got about 16 or 17 goals. But for me, I think he's certainly a technical player. He's different to what the 2 strikers we have. Taiwo Awoniyi, for me, is still my favourite striker, but his injury record has been appalling. You know, ever since that Southampton game, he went off injured in that game, and he's never recovered from that groin injury. He had surgery last season to try and fix it, but it never really materialized. So Chris Wood we had to rely on, and thank God that he somehow he works in Nuno's system. You got to say that Cooper could not get a tune out of Chris Wood at all, but under Nuno he became a new player. And Nuno's system, which Wolfie did discuss before he signed with us, would suit the way Chris Wood plays, and as it turns out, it did. You know, and he started off the season with a goal already. He got 14 for us last season in the league. He will be obviously a threat tomorrow, but for me, Taiwo's fit enough to be on the bench. I would start with him against you guys. I think he offers he offers a more direct type of play. He gets in behind. He has got that pace, which you don't get with Chris Wood. Chris Wood's a finisher. Chris Wood's a better finisher than Taiwo. Taiwo will knock it in off his shin, off his ankle, whatever body part, but you won't ever see a clean goal from Taiwo. But he gets in there and he causes defenders problems and he keeps them occupied. So that is how I would go with it. We'll see how Nuno plays. I fear Nuno will be a little bit pragmatic. So that would mean pairing Yates up with Sangare in the CDM positions and playing Wood up front. But for me, I'd have Dominguez with Sangare and I'd have Taiwo up front and ready to go for you guys because, you know, what we got to lose. End of the day, we've got a potentially very good start to the season. We got a chance to build up some points. And what something I mentioned with lads last week when we did our Grumpy Old Red show was about how so many teams, people forget this, so many teams are not match ready yet. So many players are still not match ready yet. Yet there are still points to be played for. And these can be key points to whatever end of the table you end up in. The points you can get over the next 3 or 4 games while teams are still settling in and players are still finding their fitness and signings are coming in, having to adapt. I think they're undervalued, you know. And so at the start of that we've got Wolves next week at home, and then followed by away to Liverpool, I believe. But these first 3 games, you know, we've got a real opportunity to get 7 points on the board at least, you know, and give ourselves a good start to the season, which could be really valuable come the end of the season. I'm hoping we're not involved in a relegation battle, but we've had 2 seasons of it, and it's too early to say, you know.
Back-to-back Premier League survivals, as I called it earlier. If that's a thing, I don't know.
It is now.
It is now. It is now. But easy. Thank you so much for that. I mean, before you jump off, can I get a score prediction from you? We'll be doing our score prediction later on the show, but if I can get a Forest perspective score prediction, over to you, my friend.
Well, whatever I say now, I'm going to have to echo in our preview show. So I'm going to be positive. I'm going to go with the same result as 2 years ago. I'm going for a 1-0 win for us. I remember that day, you know, early on, one of Wolfie's favourites, Shay Adams, missed gilt-edged chance in that game, and we were as delicate as you back then. One goal would have been enough to sink us, and whoever got the goal in that game was going to win that game, and thankfully we did. So I'm hoping for a similar result, a different type of game. I think it'll be a much more open game, and I think it'll be an exciting game to watch. But I just hope I'm gonna hope and pray for the 1-0.
That's like a golden goal, that game, wasn't it? Like none of us could actually score. It's a crazy thing. But amazing. Easy, thank you so much for joining us. For everyone watching, Easy's from Forest Fan TV, so be sure to go over there and smash subscribe. And you guys are surpassed 20-something thousand subscribers now.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
It's been amazing. It really has been. And thanks for everybody who has subscribed. And guys, do come over, and our fan base, we're really loyal. They stick with us. We've got a show on at the moment. There's probably, about 1,000 people watching their live now. So I'm going to hop over and see how the guys are getting on. But thank you so much. Real honor to be asked on. And like I say, we missed you guys. So make sure you don't get yourselves locked out again this time. Stay in the Premier League, man. Well, however you survive by hook or by crook. Can I actually get your guys' predictions for who's actually going to stay up this season or go down, should I say?
Oh, I did this earlier.
Well, Leicester. Let's just get out of the way. Leicester.
Yeah, we both said Leicester. I know you miss Steve Cooper dearly and are terrified when he can come to the City ground and thrash you guys 1-0. But I'm going to say Leicester. And who else did I put? I said Ipswich as well, and I think I said Everton.
Ooh, okay.
Those are big teams.
Just before we move into the new stadium, you never know.
Yeah,
I think Brentford could potentially get sucked into it, but they've still got quality players like Mbeumo, who's a game changer, and Wisa. So we'll see. If they can keep them fit, they'll be safe. But if they have any trouble with that, or Fulham might get dragged into it. But let's see. I genuinely hope you guys stay up. It's and I get to come down next season and see the in-laws as well. Yeah. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and good luck for the rest of the season. Just not on Saturday.
See you,
Cheers, Izzy. Good to see you, man.
Bye.
Take it easy. Amazing. Thank you so much, Easy, joining us there here on the live preview. It's always great to get opposing fans' insight into their club and everything that's going on, because we can't profess to know absolutely everything about the opposition, but
we don't even know everything about Saints.
It's true. It's true. So I haven't really got a chance. So it's really, really helpful. I've also done a live preview on their channel. So we were both expecting it to be 10 minutes long each, but we were generally just prattling around asking each other stupid questions. So if you fancy a giggle for 30 minutes of us really trying to explain football, then it's worth a watch. But there'll be one going up on our channel tomorrow as well, so be sure to check out that. So should we jump on to the lineups?
Let's do that.
Who we think is going to be starting. So as always, please be sure to stick in your predicted 11. So put that banner up straight away, and then I need to put this one up. That's the way it goes on this channel. It's always like this. Where's my banner? Da, 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 da. There it is. Here we go. Right. Now, of course, we've had a few signings come in, so it kind of feels weird that we might be including some players that we've not even talked about before.
The spelling. This spelling's going to be hard today, isn't it?
Does anyone mind if I go with abbreviations? I think that'd be one thing. But I did actually. Did I see Yaz in the chat earlier? Wasn't she still? Of course.
K. Peters.
I know. I had it all lined up ready. But there we go. Right then, Jack. I'm gonna let you do this because I'm just gonna make you say his name.
Belong to start from the midfield. I'll be honest. I don't think the team changes from what we played at the weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it changes. I think the mentality about passing backwards does a little bit, especially in a certain area.
Yeah.
But no, I honestly think it's going to be the exact same lineup. I don't think the players that have come in. I don't think they might not have integrated properly just yet.
Mm-hmm.
And Cameron, it's that number 9, it's that Cameron Archer one that's a bit intriguing for me because it kind of feels that who makes way for that to work for him to sit in the position that he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a formation change later on in the game, but so I think from the start of it, it's going to be pretty much what we saw last week. So I'm glad you've already said his name. So put Kyle Walker-Peters and Sugawara on those flanks.
Sugawara. Sugar. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Hang on. If I'm doing this, I put that in there. If I've done that, then I have to do this.
Kyle Walker-Peters.
There you go. There you go. I nearly pressed that twice by mistake. Let me see.
I would just like to quickly say, Geordies in real life versus Geordies online. The nicest people you will ever meet is walking around the streets of Newcastle. They are, honest to God, some of the most down-to-earth, lovely people. And then Burton Diaz does that one thing, and all I see is just the worst people on on Twitter. So, absolute duality of man, that is. But
it is. If you'd like me to read out the comments live on air, just put in block capitals in the chat section right now. Read the comments, and I will.
Well, Matchday Vlogs After Dark had its first little preview in Newcastle on that Friday night. So maybe there'll be a third channel. There'll be this one, the shorts, and then the one that doesn't get monetized at all, the bad one.
Well, that's it. If this, maybe I should say on this one, if this live gets 10,000 likes, I'll release the entire footage uncut.
Which is the thing, that's only really bad for Mike. Only just for the McDonald's bill.
Yeah. What happened there? Oh my word!
What happened there was you said, "I'll pay. Don't worry."
Was there a queue for that touchscreen? Because I didn't keep an eye on that. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, there was a prom night going on around us, so maybe you might have bought a bouquet or something around. But yeah, that was
bouquet of nuggets.
Yeah, that's what you bought me. Mike was disgusted to see me eat cold chicken nuggets the next day, but I'm telling you, they're
can't believe you said that live on there. Yeah, you chowed them down whilst being live on the BBC, didn't you? That's what you did. That's what
it's all about. That's what you pay your license fee for.
Yeah. So basically, I'm typing in all the players from last time out.
It's that thing that we always like. We're at a position right now where the best team picks itself.
Yeah.
And we've not had that in the Premier League for an awful long time.
No.
Probably since the 3-2 win at Spurs.
Everyone's going to have to forgive me with these icons are lined up because my mouse is doing really weird things. I'm going to blame that on the positioning. But everyone blames its tools. It was Smallbone.
Oh man, Smallbone. I think Smallbone was great on the weekend. I thought he was the most sturdy. I really think this year he's going to be a 7 out of 10 player every week. Yeah. He's going to be that guy that holds that team down, holds it together, makes the right passes. And his runs into the box. There's a few times in that game that a few frustrations for me in that Newcastle game was some of Taya Harwood-Bellis's balls, and he's not looking up early enough because I thought Smallbone was making some great runs where if Harwood-Bellis was just confident enough to hit them, probably could have done something.
Yeah. So there is our lineup. That's how we think it's going to go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. But let's see what everyone else was thinking. No one's read the comments yet, so
it is like those. There is something that is broken in there, but we're just waiting for the part.
Let's see this. Yeah, it's exactly the same, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it?
He's got Archer. He's got Archer instead of Yanni B.
Sugar what?
Oh no, instead of Stevens. He's gone 4-3-3.
He's dropping Stevens. Here's a claim. If Steven gets dropped, I think Flynn Downs gets the armband.
Yeah.
I think that happens.
I think that's probably in the contract as well. Ray, yes, it's in the room.
That's who we want to see.
Kyle Walker-Peters.
There we go.
Kyle Walker-Peters. If you've got a Geordie friend, get him to send us a voice note.
You spend so much time going, can you just say this? The amount of confused faces you actually had. It's quite
luckily funny. Then Yaz came along and was more aggressive about it. Say this.
It's generally how it works. Yeah, got to be very, very confident and speak But no, we met some lovely people out and about in Newcastle, I have to say. Let's see, was there any changes here? Macca, Lordy. Sugar, Tim Roberts, yeah, Captain Chet, yeah, this is the same. Oh, Leslie, he's gone Leslie.
Ooh, big Les, because none of us want to say it.
Yep.
I don't know why not. I don't know why not. It's Okachuwu.
We'll get onto it. We'll get onto that.
Ukachuwu. I'm telling you, that's how we're saying it. Ukachuwu.
Yep. So it was a fun one. So let's lock that in. That's what we think is going to happen. Should we move on to score predictions?
Let's get there. I mean, it's your. I'm going to let you start it this week. I know we did it together last time, but it's your turn.
It's a little easier because I've had a couple of conversations with Forest channels. One of which is getting a lot of stick at the moment online, but it's fine. It's not my fault. Mainly because they were like, "Where's Wolfie? You should be doing more Wolfie." It's coming. Sorry, I'm looking for banners here and I can't find them. Score predictions. There we go. Back in the room. And scene. Right, this is the part of the show where we're going to be giving our score predictions. So please be sure to stick in your score predictions in the chat section, and we will be going straight through those right after Jack and I have given ours. I said Jack and I. Mrs. Matchday Vlog's going to be really pleased with me. I've been pronouncing that correctly. Right. How do I see this going? I think we're still going to concede. Mainly due to their... They would call him Cristiano Wadinho. I like to call him the Brexit Harry Kane. I think that's more suited. Yeah? We going with that? Brexit Harry Kane. So I think he, considering what he's been doing recently, I think he might get a goal and probably clip me up saying Brexit Harry Kane, but there we go. But I think we got to put on a performance. We really do. The new St Mary's, new home section, away fans being moved. There'll be banners, all this kind of stuff, and I just think that atmosphere should push us over the line, and I think we can do it, considering how we're playing against Newcastle. So I'm going to go Southampton 2, Forest 1.
I love that.
Like that.
I like that a lot.
Quite a lot of build up until actually say, just say it, Mike. Get on with it.
But for the most basic score.
Yeah, for the most basic, for the most literally cornflake score you could have. But I'm going to type in yours, what I think it might be, and if I'm right,
the way that I'm looking at it, right? The club, Taylor Harwood, Bellis, they've all been out again today, being like, listen, Northern Wall, let's bring the atmosphere of West Brom minus the purchases from Amazon. We don't want any of those players.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Don't we?
I think I saw a post coming out saying that there will be quite big the club if it happens. So
really?
let's not do it for the sake of FFP.
We just sold Mara, so it's fine. Just sold Mara. Crack on.
In which case, flares it is.
Go for it.
Mate, I just think you're right. We need to prove a point. I want to come back. I want it to be. I feel the atmosphere is going to be absolutely popping. I think the club are going to do everything in their power to make it. I think they're going to have like things under the seats, sort of, so you can make a big. I think we're going to have the tifo. I'm going to go for a big fat 3-0.
I nailed you straight away. I know.
Yeah, 3-0 sake. It's going to be. We're going to do it.
Jack's back, everyone. Jack's back.
I never went away. I think I want McCarthy to get a clean sheet, so at least he can bow out with a little bit of peace and quiet. Of like, right, thanks for that. Enjoy Ramsdale. 3-0. 3-0. Let's do it. Let's have a drink at the van zone. Everyone come find us. Let's have a good time before the game. Let's have a good time after the game. Scream shout 3-0. Brereton Diaz hat trick.
I love the way you think that Macca's going to swan out on a 3-0, and at the end of the game, you're just going to signal to Macca and go, come here, bring it in, just come on, and just hug it out and just say, it's okay.
This is honestly God what I think for the rest of the season.
Thanks for the playoffs. Yeah.
3-0. He bows out and he replaces me on the show.
He's going to be my guy to come and say 3-0 every week. But
Yeah, exactly.
There we go. Brilliant. Fantastic. Right, well, there we go. Those are our score predictions. A rather beige 2-1 from me. A rather fizzy yellow, should we say, just like I wake it, 3-0 from Jack. Let's have a look through these score predictions. There's still time to stick in yours. Let's go through these now. Right, starting with Aidan. He's going for a 1-0 Saints. There we go, another clean sheet. Singleton is going to go for...
Not this one. Nope. Carry on. Not this one.
Warming on the fence. There we go. No score. No score. And a draw. Floppy's going for a 3-1 Saints. Going to prove a point by getting all three. Liking that. Finbar's also going 3-1 Saints. Kingston Fleet, Toby's on the channel. Welcome, Toby. He's going for a 2-1 Armour for 2. Armour gets at least 15 this season.
Love that.
Maybe he gets a few more on Saturday then. Who knows? Simplistic going for a 1-1. It's a draw there, but it's a score draw. Josh, no relation to Adam, is going for a 3-0 Saints. Armour, Aribo, and Archer. Yeah, it'd be good to see Archer getting a goal. Charlie's going for a 2-1 Saints, Smallbone, and Bednarek.
Bednarek. That'd be a great game.
Paradox going for a 3-1 win. Northern Wall is massive 12th man. I was in the Northern Wall for the Lazio game, and I think there was probably maybe 20-30% capacity, and it was pumping. I loved it. So yeah, looking forward to that on Saturday. Alpha's going for a 2-1 Saints last minute Archer winner. Lee's going for a 3-1. Joseph's going for a 4-2. God, what a goal fest that would be. Armour, BBD, Smallbone, and Archer from the bench. Daniel's going for a 2-1. Edward watching over on Facebook at the moment. Lovely stuff. And Isaac's going for a 2-1. Clip this if McCarthy costs us a goal. I'm betting 2 Twixes on it. There we go. Isaac is moving all in on the chocolate confectionery. Love it. Yaz is going for a 2-0. Gosh, she's with you on the clean sheet there. Armour and Diaz. Yeah, one from each. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Jack Allen's going for a 2-1 Forest. Strangely not confident despite performance last Saturday. Come on, it'll be all right. Don't worry. Watch the first 20 minutes of the Newcastle game again. You'll feel better. Wow, we got a viewer from New Orleans. Amazing.
You've said it wrong. That's not how you say it. That's not how you say
Go on
it.
then.
It's New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
New Orleans.
No, it's one word. New Orleans.
No. Rob, I'm just purely trusting Jack there. Please correct us if we are wrong.
New Orleans.
Or confirm if we're right as well. Hugh is going for a 4-1 Saints. He's confident. Loving that. Delco's going for a 3-2 Saints. Armour brace and a Will Smallbone goal. Will was great. That header that he did to make the ball right. Oh, I love that. That header was fantastic. Local Southampton lads going for a 1-0 Smallbone 89th minute in front of the Northern Wall. Oh, can you imagine? Weirdly, I'd love it though. If Will Smallbone got the first goal in front of the Northern Wall, that'd be special.
If that happens, I will go straight to the club store afterwards and get that away shirt with his name on the back. I promise Will I'd do it. I'm gonna do it. But if he happens to do that this one,
I'll get one as well.
A bit quicker. It'll happen a bit quicker.
Yeah, I'll get one as well. Armour's going for a 1-1. Sorry, Armour, Strong, and Gibbs White. Oh, not more Gibbs White. Oh no. According to chat, we scored 250 goals this year. Yep. That's what you.
No, I would say 210.
210. Yeah, modest. Like it. DC Joe is going for a 3-1. Liking that. General feeling with the boys here in Thailand. Oh, nice. Is 2-1 Saints. Hello to everyone watching overseas. It's always wonderful to have so many people watching across the globe. Let us know what time it is as well, where you are watching, because it's always fun to figure that out. And whether or not you've got maybe a sleeping issue you need to talk to someone about. But I don't know what hours of the day people watching these shows, but it's always great to welcome our global Saints fan base community.
To be fair, if I need to go to sleep, I tend to watch replays of
it. Chris, hello Chris. It's going for a 2-0 Armour and Ben Burton Diaz. I've got Holly in the show. Hello Holly, how are you doing?
You were
It's
just
going for
here. You were just here. How have you got in there so quick?
She's fast. She's fast.
She is.
2-0 Saints. Armstrong for both. Oh, amazing. Chris saying Ben Brereton Diaz can be the new Marcelo Salas. Amazing. Dave is up at 3 a.m. Wow. Dave, you absolute hero.
Now, have you just gotten up or have you not gone to bed yet? Yeah.
That was for that match day vlogs after dark, wasn't it? Because when everyone was leaving to come up to Newcastle, we were just getting in. So that was a fun one. Amazing. Well, there it is. Those are all of our score predictions. Oh, we got one more. He's just got home. What a party animal.
Good man.
Squarehead's going for a 3-0 or 6 Bit delayed there. He's moved on. He's
He's back.
Yeah. Let's shift those goals. Let's go with a Brereton Diaz hat trick. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Fantastic stuff. Right. Do we want to talk about the transfers?
I mean, you made me write it all down, so I best.
Yes. I frantically said to Jack, you do some research on transfers. And Jack very kindly did that whilst I was doing graphics and just general silly things like
Kyle Walker-Peters.
You get the idea.
Worth it. So worth it.
That's
worth
the silly thing. So
worth 16 hours in a car. You know what, Peters?
Oh, it's fun. It is fun. Right then. So let's have a chat about transfers. We're going to be talking about the incomings, the outgoings, and also where we still need it, where we're still in need of something. So should we have a quick chat about who's come in? I mean, whilst we were coming down in the car, I keep saying coming down in the car, coming up in the car up to Newcastle, a certain Chelsea player and a Cameron Archer came in the door, and it caught us all by surprise, really. But what did you make of? I mean, I guess our initial reaction was, who's this? And us doing some research on videos and saying, like, oh, he looks really, really good. But this Ugochukwu looks emphatic. I mean, looks an absolute beast of a defensive midfielder. So I'm very, very excited about this one. What have you got, Jack?
Yeah, do you know what? Listen, I'm not Saint Rob. I don't know every player under the sun. So some of those when they came in, I was like, right, let's watch a highlight reel or two. But you got to say, Big Laz does look exciting, right?
Yeah.
I know we've got. Listen, he's going to be back up to Flynn, and as Russ said in his the presser this week, there's a good chance to play alongside that Flynn in some matches. I do think maybe those games where it's going to be tougher opposition, where you're going to have to sort of break it down a little bit more and be a bit more defensive, you might see that. But I'm really excited just to see what he's got. The fact that he's not got an option to buy probably means he's really good. That's what it sings to me, especially given Chelsea's current situation. You think offloading would be key, but I think Big Les is going to be really, really fun in that position. I mean, in that midfield as well, we picked up. Mateus Fernandez got sorted out this week as well from Sporting. That looks like a really fun signing. Again, I pretend to know much. We've just been watching highlight reels. He says his idol was Bruno Fernandes. Okay. Does that mean he's Mateus Fernandes? I mean, maybe it's one of those. So I'm really excited to see what he's got to do. I mean, like, all the Sporting fans say that what a high ceiling he's got. Winning, and he has he's been playing for the Portugal under 21, so it feels like, wow, that MacBook is worth every penny, isn't it? Every penny.
We never knew it did that.
Finding out on stream is the best way to find out that happens.
There
we are. So yeah, between Big Les, Fernandes, and Cameron Archer, it was kind of a crazy weekend, really. All players that we weren't linked with. So anybody saying, I called this, no, you didn't. So it's for players in, very, very exciting. There's still work to do. I still kind of think there needs to be a landmark signing of some kind, something that's like, right, Saints mean business because they've done this. I don't know who that is, whether that's still O'Reilly. I think, Russell and the presser today that Jack Clark kind of, we've got a lot of left wingers. That that's maybe not the position we need. I still think there may be a player out there that I don't know who that is. And I feel like when that happens, that's when that's the only way you're going to know is to be like, oh my God, we've signed who? Amazing. And that might even be Ramsdale.
It might. I still have reservations, if I'm completely honest. I mean, the Fernandez deal, I mean, is he, as far as you can see, a Charlie replacement, or is this
No, for me, it seems to
O'Reilly
be.
instead of?
No, for me, this seems to be a Rebo competition.
Okay.
That's kind of where I'm placing this. I think he sort of sits in that sort of front sitting midfielder, slightly more attacking, bit got a bit of physicality and pushing forward as well. Maybe just between Aribo and Smallbone. I see from the clips that I've watched, I see him sort of breaking the lines and cutting through like Will tends to do. So everyone that delivery Will doesn't get, but it's just an exciting player. Last time we had a Fernandez, we had a good time. I miss Fabrice. Whatever happened to Fabrice? And where is Fabrice? Someone bring Fabrice Fernandez back to this club so I know he's all right.
I didn't have stats on these guys, let alone players of the past. So you're banging out a lot there. Whilst we're on it, I know we're talking about loan players with obligations or no obligations to buy. Can we just talk about Brozier just quickly?
Yeah.
Because I have to say, I'm a little bit. I like Armando Brozier. I said he was going to be the next Erling Haaland. I'm sure I said it on the stream here once. I know. The deal he's got at Ipswich confuses me. I know what it is, but it confuses me in terms of the mentality of a player and what it's going to be at the end of the season. What I'm saying is he's gone there for as a loan with an obligation to buy if they stay up of 30 million. If I understood that correctly.
Mental. It's mental.
So, with that in mind, is it not going to play on a player's mind thing like if he's not enjoying his time at Ipswich and he wants to go back to Chelsea and he says, if I score this goal, Ipswich will stay up and then I won't be able to go back. I've got to stay here. Is that a thing?
We saw what Brozier was like towards the end of his loan spell with us. Where
that's what I mean.
Just give up.
Yeah, and that's what I mean.
But the difference being now is Chelsea is a dumpster fire.
It's insane.
If you're in a club where they're selling Conor Gallagher, they're not giving they're selling Chilwell, then Raheem Sterling is on the way out. What hope has Armando Brozier got?
Yeah.
But at the same time, apart from his spell with us, what's Brozier done? He didn't have a good spell at Fulham. I know he went out on loan. I can't remember where he went before, after that little spell as well. But he's just not done anything. And a 30 mil price tag. Yeah, but he went on another loan as well. I can't remember. Like I think the season after us, because there's a gap point there.
I think that was Fulham. Fulham.
No, because he got injured. Remember, he went out with he had the big injury, and I'm pretty sure it was abroad somewhere. But someone can let me know. But yeah, I just feel like
help us out.
Given what we know, I mean, everyone can remember how good he was for us, but that drop off was really real. Yeah. And after a player's had an injury like he's had, difficult to see what's going on. But it's just a lot of money. I mean, what happens at the end of the season if Ipswich do stay up and Brozier's nothing to do with it, but they're still stuck with a 30 mil fine because that obligation to buy is you're going to buy them when you stay up.
Yeah, 30 mil feels like a lot. Especially also while we're on Ipswich, sorry, I was smiling there because Chris Hutchins is also in the chat, so is sending me messages on the day. Chris, that's cheating. You're only supposed to use one chat section, but thank you for the link. That's it's something they're talking about the Feyenoord keeper. Is that the one that threw the ball on the pitch?
Yeah, that was that one.
Oh, that's I want him. I want him immediately.
In fact, I'll send it to you now if I find it. Kind of like his goalkeeping stat next to Bazunu, and it's one of those map charts sort of thing. It puts Baz in his place a little bit. just what we want. But the biggest issue with him is kind of injuries, isn't it? I think he's been in and out quite a lot of the squad just for like wrist and knee injury. Well, let's be honest, for a goalkeeper, the wrist injury is probably the worst thing you could get.
Yeah.
So it's just 30 mil is just ridiculous. Listen, if there's a team that's probably willing to pay the right price for Brozier, I kind of felt like it would be us. And that entire time, I thought anything more than 15 million is ridiculous.
He's from Albania. Well, his contract that he signed, literally the moment he came on loan to us, was like a 5-year deal or something like that. So with that logic, he must be down to the final 2 years. So the fact he's on the final 2 years, well, it'll be 1 year by the time it gets to the end of this season. 30 mil is a lot of money for Armando Broja. It's almost like they're using that to cash in 30 million when really you could just buy him 30 million. I don't know how it works. Just delaying the payments over.
Just Chelsea is just a dumpster fire. And trying to deal with them is bad. The fact that we've got Big Liz on loan for a season, I can't even imagine maybe what a loan fee for that is going to cost us. But I mean, is it bad? No loan fee. Is it bad? There's a part of me, a tiny little part of me,
yes,
that thinks they might get relegated.
Who? Chelsea. Oh, okay.
Because they got a terrible manager. They got a terrible. They got 40 players, and the manager keeps absolutely trashing them as well. You know, he's been saying this was, and he's been awful to them. And sooner or later, FFP is going to hit them. Something's got to give eventually. And I just look at that team, I'm like, it's so despondent. There's no connections there. Even when we watched a bit of them at the weekend, I feel like you had a bit of. It was an opening day game, but it can go either way. But I just don't see. I feel like Chelsea are going to drop and just be in a place where they want to be. And I kind of hope that means relegation for them, because I would love to see that happen to that team.
Yeah. So there's Shea Charles heading to Sheffield Wednesday, confirmed just now by The Athletic. Right,
sounds like that way. His brother plays for Sheffield Wednesday, so I think it's just a good link up.
Okay.
It's a loan. It's just a loan. Don't worry about it.
Good to see him get some game time. But just jumping back onto Ipswich panic buying big names. Phillips, Broja. I wanted to get onto Phillips because that deal baffles me as well. Because apparently they're paying a £7 million loan fee as well as covering the wages. Do you remember when we had is it Brandon Williams that's going to come back as back for us on loan, and they wanted was it 2 million or 5 million? I can't remember what it was, but they wanted 5 million loan fee plus us to cover his wages, which, if you look at it, was just suddenly an obscene amount of money. I mean, surely you should be buying a player like that for 5 million quid, but doing this as well, like that amount of money to get Calvin Phillips into Ipswich side. Did they watch him play at West Ham last season? I mean, is it like, do they think they're going to get a different player? Is there some kind of extra thought process behind it? Is there some kind of shirt sponsored deal that they're trying to, get more Ipswich shirt sales going? I don't know, but that baffles me. That just seems like a lot.
I think we all know who you'd rather have over between Calvin Phillips and Flynn Downs. I think that's an easy choice. Very easy choice.
Yeah, but I don't understand why surely there's better options out there for better money. I mean, considering how well Ipswich did with effectively their League One squad in the Championship, I just would have expected them to be a bit. Enough about other teams. Let's talk about us.
The best way, just to sum that up quickly, the best way to do it is a quote from the Wedding Singer. They've gone insane, and I'm reaping all the benefits. And that is it. That's for me. That's what I see as Ipswich right now. So, signings, mate. That's transfers. They're crazy, and I wish the window was over.
Yeah, but still much more to be done. But you alluded to the goalkeeper position. Is there any other names out there? I mean, Sam Johnson. There was
that
chat
seems
about
to be in and out for 10 mil. That's not a bad price. I do think out of hit between him, Ramsdale and Bijlow. I'm like you. I kind of leaned a bit more towards Bijlow, but as somebody mentioned in the comment section, I used to be a goalkeeper, and there are certain things that I love, and Ramsdale is everything of that for a goalkeeper for me. He's nuts. He's passionate. He's outspoken. He's wicked at stopping shots. He has his foibles, but he's open about it. And we all know what it is rather than being protective of it. And he's got a point to prove. And I kind of love that. I think bringing him over to us from Arsenal, I just love it. I love the idea of it. And for me, that's kind of a statement that I think the club I'd love the club to make. It's a bit pie in the sky, but put it this way: end of last season, if somebody said you're getting Ramsdale, you'd be stoked. And now that it's starting to be a thing, we're all sort of a little bit like, well, what is that the best option? It's like, who cares?
That's what I mean.
It's Ramsdale.
That's what I mean.
I love it.
Yeah. Something else.
We should also say Justin Still from Brighton. That was also a bit of a link around. But given the fact that the Brighton keeper's going to be out for at least a couple of more games, probably till past the transfer window, I just don't think so. I don't see Still leaving. I think they've got a safe pair of hands there until an even safer pair of hands comes back.
Yeah. A lot of people preferring a permanent signing. I was just scrolling through here, and someone. Let me see if I can find it. It's right there.
Consider Ramsdale pretty much the Flynn Downs of this season. You know, he's the lone player that at end of the year, like he's the reason. He'll be the reason that we stay up, and he'll be what we play for.
Yeah.
Stay up so we can keep him.
Coming here, Ramsdale would be great keeper to get in, but if we don't have the option to buy, I'd favour Bijot in on a permanent deal. Nice problem to have if those Saints FC reported interest in the two players are correct. Cool. Imagine if we were for both. That'd be a message.
My only little thing is when you loan a player from the same league, it's like what happens when we play Arsenal and we have to get McCarthy back in for a game.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah. And of course, the other news on goalkeeper Matthias Liers has joined Giuseppe. Yeah. Wow, where did that come from? Wow.
Can I say that's fine business. Let's go and do it. Go kill it. I think are they still signing Rupert? You said I think that was a thing. The fact they sent him via EasyJet really made me giggle. all the private jets we keep an eye on coming in out of Southampton to see what's going where, and to see Liz.
Yeah.
Picture of an EasyJet flight. I was like, oh, come on, boys. Could you not just sort him out? The amount of back and forth you made this guy do, and you're not even going to get him a private jet. Come on.
That's pretty wild. That is pretty wild. And quite something if... I just like that Ugo Chukwu story where Russell Martin sending his car to collect him on the M3. I think that's...
Do you reckon Big Les got to Russ's house and was like, is that Lucy Pinder? what? Where am I?
I don't think Ugo Chukwu would probably know who Lucy Pinder is, but his agent probably did. So I just imagine Russell's car turning up at Fleet Services and just trying to look for him like, I don't know where he is. He's in Subway? No? So, yeah, looking at all the various things. But yeah, fun stuff. But can we talk about striker position? Is there anything that's murmuring around there that you've seen?
Not that I can see. I don't. At this point now, I do feel like those are the positions where it's going to be a bit like it has been with Cameron Archer and all these other players, where someone's going to come in. I do think maybe one more striker. I do think maybe Toolpool.
The Mara thing kind of makes me think that there's got to be something. There's got to be another option.
Yeah,
especially how we were in front of goal on Saturday.
Yeah, they have to be looking around and thinking, right, is there a player out there who's been in this league, who's bagged a few goals? I mean, Nottingham Forest are a great example of sort of players that are, I mean, Hudson-Odoi, Gibson Wright, Woods, these are all players that in my mind, Diallo, all players that when I saw them in their previous teams, I'm like, I think they can be good players, really give to a team, but given where they are, not given that chance. I feel like there's something out there for Southampton. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that player is, but I feel like there's the name that we've not thought about because we're like, so, mate, Welbeck for Brighton. Let's be fair. I think we would all write Welbeck off when he signed for Brighton. Like, well, good luck with that. And then you watch him, you're like, he looked wicked. He's so good.
Yeah. And has done for years. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think there's something out there. I don't know what that is. I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it's Lukaku from Chelsea. But because the fact that he still plays for Chelsea is absolutely mind-boggling.
The fact that Napoli are even thinking of spending money on Lukaku just baffles me. I don't want to get caught for slander, but it just must be something dodgy going on there. I have to say, it seems utterly ridiculous. But yeah, we shall see.
Yeah,
we shall see.
Like I say, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know what team it is. I don't know who it is, but I feel like there's a player out there who can give more than what he's been given, and Southampton's the place where he's going to do it. And I just want to see it happen.
Yeah,
Callum Wilson.
Yeah. But then again, Callum Wilson's another one of those players where you thought he kind of done his thing at Bournemouth and then went to Newcastle and then became just as prolific, albeit quite injury prone. But yeah, maybe there's a player out there exactly like that could become our prolific goal scorer. But But looking at the business that's been done elsewhere, I mean, you talk about the Premier League premium being put on players. Dom Solanke going to Spurs. That money feels like a lot for Dom Solanke. I know he did fantastic things, but 60 million, Dom Solanke. I mean, fair play to Bournemouth for getting that amount from him, but I don't know. I've mixed emotions as a fan of that club. If I saw Dom go out the door for that kind of money, being like, "Oh, sad this didn't go," but 60 million quid, it's a lot.
Can I throw this out there? You gave your relegated teams earlier on. I think
yes, yeah.
I think Leicester, Bournemouth, and Brentford.
You think Bournemouth? Really?
Yeah. Have you been there?
Okay.
It's a dumpster fire. Full tin pot club, and I don't care about them. So get them gone. Let's have a good Premier League with some decent teams.
I thought they looked a bit sluggish on Saturday against Forest. I think it was a bit of a weird game, that one, but no, I think if they keep hold of their manager and are able to replace the strike force of Dom Solanke, then I think they'll just be just fine. Well, never mind. Who were you said Leicester, Bournemouth, and
Brentford.
Wow. So you think Ipswich are staying up as well?
Yeah, us and Ipswich, and we'll have a fine handshake at the end of the season.
Oh, Armando Broja's going to be sat there going, "What? I've got to stay here, please."
Yeah, literally. And then Ipswich are like, "We've got to spend 30 million on that guy who didn't do anything this season." Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What have we done? What have we done?
Exactly that. That might be really, really nervous.
And then Kieran McKenna goes to United at the end of next year.
Financial oblivion incoming. Yeah, that'd be quite something. That would be a worry though, wouldn't it? If but that's football, isn't it? That's the constant moving facet that is football. So we've got to be wary of that, which is why I'm concerned about the amount of numbers and the amount of money that's been spent on certain things though. But yeah, should we?
Also, Man City, because there'll be 4 teams that go down this season because of the 100.
I have no idea how that will work. Whether or not it will be substituted, or whether or not it will be. Well, we'll know soon enough. Look, everyone's sticking in there. Right, Chris is going Leicester, Everton, Ipswich. Chris, quick question: are you on holiday at the moment? Because you mentioned you might be in Chile. Is it pronounced Chile? Something like that. Land of Brereton Diaz.
He's in Chile, just like Brett Diaz was born there.
Is he in Chile or is he in Stoke-on-Trent? That'd be the thing.
It's a bit chilly in Stoke, so.
Can we just mention one thing as well? And we'll use it to finish out the show because we've been chatting for ages. God, hour and 20 this show. Flipping heck. It's a first proper preview. James Ward-Prowse. It's looking like he's beyond the needs of West Ham at the moment. Very, very sad to see that's not gone well. Would you have him back at St Mary's?
You remember we had this conversation on Friday night, and we said, and you asked me, I said, would you boo Ward-Prowse? And I really quickly said yes. And I believe that if he comes against us against a different team, I will boo him because he left when we needed him.
Yeah,
but we didn't need him. He could have stayed. He didn't. I get everything else FFP, and I just don't think everything's crumbled around him. But I'm a forgiven man, and I'm a family man. So if he wanted to come back, he absolutely could.
Yeah.
However, it would have to be for half of what we paid for it. What they paid.
I think it might be. I think if anything gets done, it might be a crazy loan. The weird thing is, I don't see how he fits in, but the
I'd rather Smallbone. I'd much rather Smallbone.
Yeah, and there's a lot to be said for those players that did last season. They deserve the chance to show what they can do in the Premier League, but ultimately, there's a lot of competition, and a rising tide favours all ships. So why not have plenty of other talent in the squad as well? But I don't know. I don't begrudge James's move last season. I actually honestly think he probably should have seen the writing on the wall maybe a season or two before, if I'm completely honest. So he was kind of left there at the end, and I thought the the club sold him down the river in the sense of seeing all his mates go off, Romeo gone, even back to like Tadic, all his players leaving left, right, and centre. He's just there as a stalwart, thing like, okay, just me. So, and I don't begrudge him his move because thinking as a player, thinking like probably got maybe 1 or 2 international tournaments left. What's my best chance of getting in that Euro squad? He had to do it.
Be about 5 years younger.
Yeah, I know, but he had to do it. So it's not nice. I mean, in an ideal world, we perhaps would have stayed up, but hey, we wouldn't have learnt the things and had the joys that we had last season if that had happened.
Exactly.
But the romantic in me wants him to come back on loan and break Beckham's record here. I know it doesn't make any sense. Probably doesn't make any financial sense. But I just want it to be that way because it'd be nice. The nice doesn't keep you in the Premier League, does it?
It doesn't. Here's the thing, right? With Prowsey getting that record, it was kind of like our little trophy. It was like this is something that was tangible for us to have. Of like we could have this amazing thing of like the best free kick taker, someone matching Beckham, a history book thing.
Fastest goal, fastest hat trick, most Premier League free kicks,
highest Premier League goal scorer.
Oh, yeah.
Shearer is ours. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that.
Before Erling Braut Haaland smashes that next week. Yeah.
Nah, Haaland's never coming close. If Kane couldn't do it, Haaland ain't doing it. So yeah, it's for me. As you know, I love Southampton and I love everything about it. And whilst he was here, Prowsey was kind of the perfect representation of what that is.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, when he left, I wasn't like, for God's sake, Prowse. But as the season went on and what happened to him and what happened to us, I was like, if he was there at the core of it, it would have been amazing. He would have been so good. Hit that map the midfield of him, Downs, and maybe either a Rebo or Will, or even Charlie. I just feel like it would have been I feel we may have just gotten one of those automatic slots, but given what it was,
yeah. And also, let's not forget, if we'd not sold Prowse and Lavia, we might be in a similar boat to Leicester right now.
True, very true.
So, as much as we see it one way, that Prowsey deal might have been a sense of, if you don't go, we're in the pickle here. So,
we would have been could have been the same boat as Leicester, but least not Leeds. That's all I've got to say on that.
You had to leave that one in there. Lovely stuff. Well, we have chatted long enough, but thank you so much to everyone who's joined us here, whether you're watching live on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. It's been great to have you along. If you've got any more thoughts on the game, please be sure to stick them in the comments section. This show will be staying online, so you'll be able to keep the conversation going that way. But we've had an absolute brilliant time chatting with all of you lot, and we're certainly looking forward to the game at the weekend. And we'll be getting down to the stadium fairly early because, of course, it's a new fan zone, the new thing on the Northern. I'm pretty sure the wrapping is off majority of things. I think there's still going to be a few work in progress. I understand that the works was supposed to be done on Monday. But as with all these things, things do generally drag on a little bit. But I still think it's going to be an amazing time to see the Northern Wall in all its beauty and glory, and that FIFO and all the pyrotechnics that's going to be going along with it. It'd be great to see. But
was that South African?
It was. You like that? There we go. But Mike's just been cancelled at the end of a stream. Brilliant.
Diplomatic immunity.
Nice work there, Mike. Nice work there. But I guess we just have to leave you on one final mention from our good friend from the north. If I find his video, where is it? Oh, before I do, let me check how many I had this lined up. I
would also say, if you're there at the game Saturday, obviously we're going to be in the northern, before the game at the Dow's. There's always back chat. Come and have a little chat with us because.
Yes.
I feel like that's going to be the best thing about having this new fan zone, especially right by us.
Yeah.
We'll be able to talk to all of you guys. So come say hello to us at the games.
come and find us for sure. And definitely want to get more score predictions on right before the game. So just tap me on the shoulder and say, Mike, I want to give my score prediction. And I'll pull out a little GoPro and we'll go and we'll do it. So yeah, come and find us. And certainly after the game, we can talk about Saints win and how good it was and how clean sheet that was. That'd be amazing. But I just spotted there's only... How many see? There's 96 tickets remaining on the shirt competition. So, like I said, once all 175 tickets have sold out, they're all gone. But there is a chance to win a fully squad signed Southampton shirt. Along with that, there's some instant wins on a Adam Armstrong framed and signed shirt. So there's plenty of chance to do that. So go on over the football prizes and get your tickets there. Fantastic stuff. So there we go. Lovely show. Thanks everyone. And before we go, one final time,
Kyle Walker-Peters.
As always, remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Kyle Walker-Peters.